All right, let's install our first Vue project using a CLI. Go to, again, over in the left side here and just click create a project. You can go through some of these if you're interested in what they are, but we're just going to use the create a project for now. And how we would do this is we would use this here. This would create startup Vue, would create the project for us, and the name would be this one over here. Now in the newer Vue, in the Vue 3, they changed how we create products, so we have possibilities to check with checkboxes while we boot it up, and that's what we're going to be looking into. But before you type this in, make sure you're in the right folder. Right now you can see I'm just going to clear real quick, and right now I'm in this folder. So applications level, this is kind of almost a root folder. I don't want to place it here. I want to place it in this folder called YouTube, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type cd space and then just drag drop this one down here and hit enter. And when I do another ls here, I can see I'm in the correct folder with Vue attendance and intro. So cool, I'm in this one, right? So I'm going to create my project in here. Make sure you're in the correct spot. It's really important because if you put it somewhere you shouldn't, then it's hard to find, and if you need to move it, just make sure it's in the right place from get-go. Anyways, so on the page, it's declared that we want to create our project. So we type Vue, create, and then we want to give it a name, create. And we're just going to call it Vue CLI or Vue first. We're just going to create one to test a few things here and trying to destroy or whatever, right? Don't worry too much about it, just give it a name and hit enter, and we will be prompted with this. So we have three things we can do here. So we can have a standard web where it has Vue-router, Sass, Babel, and ESLint, or Babel ESLint for default, or we can manually set up features. For many cases, this will work just fine. So having Sass, which you already know, Babel it's a translation from translating old JavaScript or new JavaScript, so the browser understands everything we're doing. ESLint helps us locate errors, and the router helps us create links to different pages and things like this. But we'll get more into that. Let's just go manual first and see what we can actually do here. I'm just going to increase the size of this one so it's easier for us to see. So here we can use our arrow up and down to check what we really want to use. So Babel, yes. TypeScript, no, we don't care. Progressive web app, we're going to save that for later. Router, yes, we want that one. Vuex, no, skip that for now. We also want a CSS preprocessor like Sass in our case, and that's what we want, right? So these four things is what I want. If you want to read up on what the others are, go for it. But for now, this, and then you just hit enter. And then it asks use history mode for router, and you might, what is history mode? I'll get more into that later, but I'm quickly showing that usually if you are on a Vue, let's just say this is my Vue page.com, and if you wanted to have a subpage called about us, right? And as a standard, what Vue and most framework would do, they would have a hashtag like this, and then about us, about us. So what it's asking for here is that you want to use history mode for routing. Yes, I kind of want to do that because that means it's going to hide this one. So it looks like this. That's what this one does. So let's click yes for this and go to the next one. Which one do we want? We want CSS or Sass here, and we want it with Node Sass. Cool. ESLint, whatever. Let's just click the standard one and lint on save. Excellent. And here, doesn't really matter, we're really not going to go too much into this. Where do you prefer placing config on this? I'm just going to use the package.json file. And the last one here, do you want to set this preset for future projects? So we can save one going the standard template for me, right? That's up to you. I'm not going to do this because it doesn't take that long. But right now it's installing, as you can see. And this might take a few minutes, and let's go to while it's doing this, we can actually go into our browser. You can see created the Vue-CLI here, and it's actually starting to populate this folder here. So the node modules is the big one. There's a lot of pieces of code and everything in here, and you're not really going to be looking into this one at any point. You shouldn't, at least. This is kind of like a system code controlling and running everything. It shouldn't be much use for you to look into this. Anyways, it created a public file and a source file, and we'll go through this in the next video. So see you in the next video.